this is Chad Williams, and today I'm going to walk you through how to do PSYC 300A's Computational Lab 1 using JASP. In this, we're just going to load data and then run some descriptive statistics on our data, and then you can report them in the assignment yourselves. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you've already watched the video to install JASP. So I've gone through this splash page already, so let's get right to it. We want to load our data first. So we're going to go to this bar button here, and we're going to go open. Now with recent files, it will eventually be populated, but this is a fresh install, so I'm going to go to computer, and then I'm going to browse, and I know mine's in documents under PSYC 300A, and there's my data set there. So I'm going to click it. Note that it is the CSV file. JASP can take in a lot of different files, but it can't take in Excel files. So if you're using Excel files in the future, make sure to save as CSV. Now if I open this, it'll pop up and there's my data. First thing I do want to point out is I only have 13 data points here. So my data is not the same as your data, just so that once I go through all this, we're not just giving out the answers to you, so you can run through this yourselves with the real data set. So this is just an excerpt of the data. Now that's step 2 technically. Step 1 is installing JASP in this case. So step 2 is loading the data, and there we go. Now in a lot of statistical programs you can edit data, and so it already just said double click to edit data. An interesting thing about JASP is if you do that, it's actually going to open the data up in a different program, whatever your default editing program is. For me, it'll be Excel. For you, it might be different. So I'm not going to double click it here, but if we ever wanted to change our data, we can do that by double clicking, and then it'll open it up in whatever program you prefer, and then you can edit it in there. But instead, we're going to do descriptive statistics, which is step 3. So let's click that. So you see, first off, all of our different variables here. So we have live, excitement, temperature, stream, and height. If you don't know what those are, we did put a descriptor in the lab assignment, so be sure to read up on that. On the right, it's trying to give you a little bit of information, and we can already see our descriptive statistics table is already beginning, but it doesn't have anything in it yet because it's waiting for us still. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to here, and we see 2 different tabs, plots and statistics. So plots, we could plot some stuff, but we're just doing descriptive statistics here, so let's go right to statistics. Now, it already has preset default things that you might be interested in, like the mean and standard deviation, but we do have a table ourselves. So what we need is the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, the MAD, so the median absolute deviation, and the range. So we don't need this minimum and maximum, but we do need the median and the mode. And then we need the MAD, and then the range. So now we can close the statistics tab, you don't have to. Now you see over here that the table, again, is being built ready for information, but it's not actually giving us these statistics. That's because we haven't actually told it what to run these statistics on yet. So we have all of these variables that we can run it on, but it doesn't know which ones we want to. So the way we do that is we click a variable, and we add to variables, and you see it updated automatically already. So now we have the live variable filled out with all of these different measures. Now I want all of them, so I'm going to just click them all and add them all together, and now we get this table of descriptive statistics that includes valid and missing, which isn't a big deal for now, but it includes our mode, median, mean, standard deviation, MAD, and range. So now it's up to you to add the appropriate descriptors or measures into your table on the lab assignment, but do remember that they're not all appropriate. So even though JASP is giving you all of these for all these variables, you need to know which ones are appropriate for which measures and what ones you need to report. So that was covered in class, so be sure to read up on that if you're not too familiar. The last thing we can do if you're interested in doing it is we could save our data. So if we save, let's say in the same place, and we'll call this our output, that's going to give us something called a JASP file. So it's .jasp. Now what that does is when I open it up again, it'll actually have all this stuff preloaded. So everything you've done, it will have preloaded in your save file. So you don't have to rerun it every time. That way, in case you maybe missed a number or wanted a little bit more analyses, you can use it again in the future. That's about it. So good luck, and hopefully it all goes well.